Hey YouTube, Tiger Shark 1968 here with a really special knife. This is the Bar Swabbie, which is, I think, the most deadly, beautifully balanced, best cutting knife that is on the mass market right now. For mass production, this 1095 Crowband steel blade is just like nothing you've ever seen before. I chopped down, it had to be about 10-inch wide, really hard maple tree that had died on the property with this, and I don't think there's even the slightest mark on the blade. All I had to do was dust off basically dust and some mud and stuff that from, yeah, there's nothing, not a hint of damage. I'll show in later videos. First I want to just demonstrate or quickly review all the products that I want to review. Then I'm going to start doing a lot of testing on various types of wood and stuff, and you'll see me putting up a lot of videos for cutting tests, chopping tests on all these blades that I'm showing, both the company that I'm producing blades with and also just off the shelf market products like this that I like. I think any good product needs to be endorsed if it's good, and certainly a video needs to be made of it if it's bad too, to warn people to steer clear of garbage. But this is not one of those knives. This is, I think, one of the most brilliant knives slash short swords that you're ever going to come across. I bought this on sale on Amazon Canada for, I think it was $115 prime shipped, where I got free 2-day shipping, and it was normally $189, and the price varies. I've seen it as high as $220 on by some sellers and stuff, but the typical seems to be it's in the $180, $200 range, and you know, that's damn expensive for a knife that's mass produced, but for good reason. This is, I think, the best knife that's ever been produced out of a mainstream factory. And I've owned many Bar products. I had a Bar knife when I was in the Army that followed me everywhere and was through my entire enlisted service with me. And if I had to go into the Army again, boy oh boy, I think on one hip I'd carry a kukri from my company, or one of the other companies I love so much, like Torah, and on the other hip I'd carry one of these, because you can never have too many knives, especially if you're a knife fanatic like I am. This, I have zero bad things, so if you're waiting for me to say anything nasty or snipey about this blade, you might as well, and you expect me to just cut it into the ground on one particular thing or another, you might want to move on right now, because this review is only going to say glowing things about this knife. In fact, I love it so much, it's making me want to check out the other products in this series, but you know, they're expensive and stuff, and you can only really have so much room for so many of these things, but I'm glad I have what I think is the best one. I'll put it down for a second. Let's just show you something. See, it's a big blade, but it swings just beautifully. It is fast. I would not want to get hit with this. It's probably just like they showed on Zombie Go Boom. This was a one-hit kill on their Ivan heads that were double or triple the strength of a real human skull, and it just took the whole face off. It sheared off the entire face of the zombie, and so I basically went out and bought that after I saw this video, going, wow, this thing's kukri like, and the scimitar blade shape is clearly a serious cutter, and I started researching more on scimitars and started looking at other videos of people that are companies that are making scimitars and seeing their videos and saw, yeah, wow, this is basically a really affordable scimitar. So I went out and bought it, and I have not regretted it. It's just insane what it did to trees. I can't even tell you. It takes chunks of woods out, a chunk of wood out this big. It'll be, you know, bigger than a grapefruit, every single chop. So you know, if you were to say zombies really did exist, my God, you'd cut them in half with this thing. You'd decapitate them, cut their face off. If you went for the arm, you'd probably stop mid-center body. After cutting off the arm, you'd be somewhere around the second series of ribs, or maybe clean right through. I've never seen cutting like I've seen on this knife for this size of blade, this weight and stuff. They've mastered it. They don't need to do anything to it. They are, in fact, I'm going to say, K-Bar, you ever drop that from your product line, you are fools. That needs to stay in your product line when we're in space. I mean, that is, I think, the best knife that has ever been made and mass-produced. It is incredible. I would give it 1,000 stars out of 1,000 stars if such a scale existed. I'm going to make one up right now and say this is 1,000 stars out of 1,000 stars. It's that kind of blade. You need it. You want it. I'm not going to say a single thing bad about it. It came with green grips, but I obviously like the black grips, so I put them on, and I love the scaling of the black scales. I mean, it looks like reptilian skin or a snake or alligator, and then also the blade finish. This is not wearing off, and it's so beautiful I'm not going to take it off. It just glows with hints of green and red, and it's all metallic. Blade thickness, I would say, is that's 5 or 6 millimeters. Length of blade, well, it's over 9 inches, so I'd say 11 maybe. Oh wait, but we gotta measure actually from here, so yeah, actually, what is that? I'm gonna say it's 10 to 10.5 where the actual blade is. Let's find inches here. I gotta clean off this sucker. From actual blade, yeah, it's 10 and a half. I gotta see, knowing your own hand size to compare to things is very beneficial. That's why I do things like that. It's instant ruler if you know what your hand size is. I know mine's exactly 9 when I have a flat open hand without stretching it too much, and it really works in doing things like this. What else can I say positive? But holy cow, have they nailed the sheath. Heavy sheath, plastic sleeve that's very thick that you're not going to have it go out of. It's double latched or clasped or buttoned, whatever you want to call it, at the handle and hilt. And there's just no slipping out with that ever. It's not going to slip out, because I'm telling you, if this slips out, oh my God, you'd really need to call 911 quickly, because you do not want to mess around. Like, seriously, you drop this knife, don't attempt to grab it. Let it hit the floor and back away from it. The second, like, I dropped this knife by off a table one time. I bumped into a chair and it knocked the sheath, and the sheath knocked it off. I didn't go anywhere near this knife after I saw what it did to the tree. I just leaped back to make sure I was nowhere near that thing. It's that shockingly dangerous. It's crazy. You'll understand when you buy it, and you'll go, holy crap, this thing's a laser beam. It's a scalpel. It's basically a scalpel, or it's an obsidian blade. I've never seen cutting like this, and I'm really being honest here. I've never seen cutting like this, even in a kukri. Only highly factory machine blades can ever be this sharp, ever be that thin in the blade, and be that strong. And that's 1095 steel for you, and a company that knows what it's doing. And that's why I love companies like K-Bar, because they really know what they're doing. Look at the straps on the back. This is a very solid, it's just got attachments everywhere. And I attached a belt loop leg loop that I got off of something else, and I figured, no, I'm not going to put the strings that come with it that I can tie down with. I'm going to use these wonderful loops that they provide at the back to put on one of these, and oh my God, does this ever stay well on the leg now. It hangs beautifully. You can reach it very quickly, and it's got a nice pouch that's so you can keep your green tiles. the Allen key to put them on, and see, that's how green they are. They really are as green as you've seen in other videos. I love the color green, and it's my favorite color and stuff, but I don't know, the black looks so evil. This is such an evil blade for what it's capable of, that green just does not do it justice. It's just something else. I've never handled a blade this deadly before. Without a doubt, I just can't think of anything I've ever touched that can compete with this, except real katana. I've handled real katana, but I mean a knife, nothing. And not a cold steel. Condor can't touch it. None of the big companies can touch it. I've just completely impressed with this knife, and that's why it's got a glowing review, and why I pray K-Bar keeps putting out products like this. And if they ever want to test something that they think that is better than this, send me one. I'd love to try it out, and I'll do some cutting and chopping down videos with this, don't you worry. I just don't feel like shaking around the camera today. We'll get it set up on a bipod on a day that's not 100 degrees outside, where I can really go to town on a tree, and I'll show you what this thing does in a separate video. So subscribe if you want to see that, and it'll be sometime this summer for sure. But wow, get it. It's one of the hottest blades on the market, and for good reason. It's one of the best blades that's ever been made. You will not regret it when you buy this. Swing it and see what it does, and own it. It's going to be one of your most coveted knives in your collection. You can count on it. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you liked, and hit like or don't if you liked it or didn't like it. See you again. Ciao.